In this lesson, we'll show you how to add multiple tasks to the timeliner, as well as how to run the movie in the timeliner using all your different tasks. The first thing that we're going to do in order to add multiple tasks is to create another set. So, from the selection tree, select the structural framing on level 2, and then create a set just like you did in the previous lesson. We'll name this new set Level 2 Framings. We're then going to repeat the process on level 3, creating sets for the level 3 structural columns and the level 3 structural framing. So we'll go ahead and create those two sets exactly as we've done before. Additionally, we're going to select all of the stairs in our model by clicking on one of the sets of stairs, going to Home, and then using Select Same to select the same name. So let's scroll around to make sure we selected everything. And it appears that the program did not select all the stairs. So let's go back and try that again. Alright, no, that looks like it selected all the stringers, but not the stairs. So we'll try this one more time. We'll go and find the stairs from the selection tree and try to select them all. Alright, we'll just work with what we have. Let this be a valuable lesson that these programs are not infallible, and you'll want to double check to make sure that they're doing everything you need. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to create sets for the columns on level 4 and for the framings on level 4. So we'll just go ahead and make those sets up here, and then we can continue. So now that we have all of our different sets, we can go ahead and start adding them to the timeliner. You'll just right-click on the new task, add the selection set that you want, rename it, and then keep going from there. So bear with me just a second. I'm going to create new tasks for all of the different sets that we created, so that we can control everything on a more granular level. Note too how we've named the tasks exactly what we named the sets, in order to make them easier to recognize as we go through. Okay, there we go. Now we will go through and set the start and end dates. This time, rather than having to go through and do everything manually, setting it by the calendar, we can use the copy date command. Just right-click on the date, select the copy date/time command, and then go through and paste that date into the actual start date for all your other tasks. All you have to do is right-click and select the paste date time command. I know this still takes quite a bit of time, but when you're dealing with big projects, you're going to have to deal with a certain amount of tedium and fiddliness. Once we have all the dates copied in, you can go through and change individual elements of the date. So for instance, if you want all of your tasks to be 1 month apart, you can just go through and change the number of the month to the corresponding number that you want. Doesn't look like it's taking on all of them. I'll have to go back and check that out. But the process is the same. Alright, so now we'll go through and try and repeat the process for the end dates, doing the same thing as before, copying and pasting the dates for each separate task, and then changing them as we need. Alright, looks like a couple of the dates are still wrong in the start. So I will go back through and try and fix those. So take this as a valuable lesson. When you're going along doing large-scale projects like this, you want to double check and make sure that all your data is correct, so that you don't have a big nightmare further on down the line that you then have to go back and try and find. And the program really seems to be fighting me today. It does not want me to manually input the month for our start date. So I'm unfortunately going to have to go into the calendar and change it. Fortunately, since we did get everything copied and pasted in there, we can start from the right year, and that way we don't have to keep going from the default date, which is normally the date that you're working. Now we'll go back through and fix the end dates. And the last thing that we'll do is change the task types for all these new tasks to construct. Once you're done with everything, you can go to the Simulate tab and run your simulation to see an animation of what your project will be.